Hi everyone, welcome to my first daily edition. In this daily edition, I'll be talking about my work last week, my general revisions, what I learned last week, and what I'm planning for this week, including my goals, what I plan to learn this week, and my general assumptions and my progress for this week. Now, for last week, I've worked on my work, and in general, I'd rate my work around a 7 out of 10. There are two main reasons as to why I wouldn't give myself a higher score. Firstly is my inability to adapt to situations, which in last week I lost my computer since it had some problem with it, which meant that I was offline and couldn't do work for 2 whole days, resulting in me not doing a lot of the DE3 and missing out on a lot of other work. Now, one solution to this was that I could have asked for help from my mom, etc., which just proves my inability. And that's one thing that I learned from my mistake last week. The next thing that I want to talk about, as in what I learned last week, is that the amounts of data and the general usages of data used in the DE3 last week. Now, in general, from last week's DE3, I've skimmed over all the pages, and I see that the topic that I'm going with this week is just very it's some part is difficult, but some other parts is pretty easy, I believe. Now, for the meeting, there were actually 2 meetings. However, after the first meeting, I went offline in order to write my meeting reflection, and I didn't really notice the link for the second meeting. And I really do apologize for this. It's really my fault, and I promise that it won't ever happen again. Now, in the meeting, I believe that although I performed decently on the theoretical aspects of the meeting in general, such as the revision of work, discussion of D3, and the progress with my company, I think that there were times that I was a bit confused, so I guess I need to pay more attention. Now, for the work this week. The work this week is fairly simple. For the DE2, it is my own choosing or the supporting topic of the main work. However, for the main work and the DE3, Mrs. Pratt wants us to report back to her about our company. So, based off this, for my company or my main work, I'm going to be reporting on the progress of the things I've added in my main work or my company, which means that I'm going to be talking about where I'm at with my company, my current progress with the research, as well as what I'm planning next for my company. The next thing is my DE3, in which I'm going to be talking about the mathematical factors that I've used in order to complete my company's work. So, in general, my goal for this week is to try and accomplish my general work in time, make sure it's up to standard, and being able to adapt if any problems come about. Now, that's all from my first daily edition. Thanks so much for listening and have a great day.